More than 2,300 years ago, the most powerful man in the ancient world died suddenly. A man who built an empire stretching from Greece to India. A conqueror known to history as Alexander the Great. But after his death, a mystery was born that remains unsolved to this day. We know who Alexander was, but we don't know where he is buried. Strangely, there was a time when his tomb was one of the most famous sights in the ancient world. People traveled from distant lands just to see it. Roman emperors visited it. Kings paid respect at his burial site. And then, without warning, it vanished from history. How does the final resting place of one of the greatest conquerors in human history simply disappear? In 323 BC, Alexander the Great fell seriously ill in Babylon. Within days, his condition worsened rapidly. And at just 32 years old, he was dead. His death shocked the ancient world. Some claimed it was disease. Others believed he was poisoned. But everyone agreed on one thing. His body was not ordinary. In the ancient world, the remains of great rulers were seen as symbols of power and legitimacy. This is why control over Alexander's body became a political prize. A massive funeral procession was prepared. His coffin was said to be made of solid gold. A grand ceremonial carriage carried his remains across the empire. But according to historical accounts, the journey did not go as planned. Somewhere along the route, control of his body changed hands. And eventually, Alexander's remains were taken to Egypt. To the city of Alexandria, a city he himself had founded. There, his tomb became a legendary monument. For centuries, it was treated as a sacred and historical landmark. Roman leaders such as Julius Caesar were believed to have visited it. Emperor Augustus is also said to have seen Alexander's preserved body. At that time, no one imagined that this tomb would one day become one of history's greatest missing mysteries. But over time, something changed. Mentions of the tomb began to disappear from historical records. Old writings grew silent. Maps stopped marking its location. Travelers no longer described it. Until eventually, it was gone, completely lost to history. If the tomb was so famous, how could every trace of it vanish? Historians have tried to explain this mystery for centuries. Some believe earthquakes destroyed large parts of Alexandria. Others suggest that rising sea levels and coastal shifts submerged ancient districts. It is possible the tomb was buried beneath layers of destruction. But none of these explanations fully solve the mystery. Because even in cases of destruction, some trace usually remains. Stone foundations, inscriptions, fragments, yet nothing definitive has ever been found. Modern archaeologists continue to search the ancient city of Alexandria. They have uncovered palaces, streets, harbors, and temples buried beneath modern streets. But Alexander's tomb remains missing. Every new excavation brings hope. Every discovery raises questions. But the final answer never arrives. Some researchers believe the tomb still lies beneath modern Alexandria, hidden under layers of civilization, roads, and buildings. A place people walk over every day without knowing what lies beneath. Others argue it may have been relocated during periods of political instability or religious change. But there is no solid historical proof. And then there is the most controversial theory of all. What if the tomb has already been discovered? But MISIDNTIFID. What if one of history's greatest archaeological discoveries has been hiding in plain sight? For over 2 millennia, the world has searched for Alexander's final resting place. Empires have risen and fallen. Cities have been built above ancient ruins. But the question has never changed. Where is Alexander the Great buried? Perhaps his tomb was destroyed long ago. Perhaps it lies beneath the waters of the Mediterranean. Or perhaps it is still hidden beneath Alexandria, waiting for the moment when history finally reveals its greatest secret.